Hi everybody, it's Ryan from Ryviews.com, and today I'm reviewing Invert Selection by Ellie Yolanda. Invert Selection is a fun little puzzle game where you have this kind of setup here with lots of different little squares and trying to make some lit up and some not lit up. Very simple concept, and I think it's implemented pretty well here. There's basically three different commands you can use. You have this plus, which will illuminate the blocks you select, minus, which will de-illuminate the blocks you select, and then the X, which is reversal. So it reverses whatever. So if you highlight, plus, if you highlight something that's white, it'll go back to blank, and if it's blank, it'll go back to white. So it reverses it. In each level, you have a certain kind of order of the commands that you're able to make. So that means you're required to go about the puzzle in a certain way. You're not just allowed to pick and choose when you want to do the plus or minus. You have to go in the actual specific order of that level, which is a really cool requirement that they put on you there. I think it's a great game mechanic. It makes for really cool kind of outside the box thinking, and you're able to kind of get really close and you have to kind of figure out how to back solve it based on the last move you have to make or the last two moves you have to make, and including some that get, quite frankly, very frustrating. But in general, it's implemented very well. The controls are pretty good. I don't like that it's very laggy. And my computer isn't state of the art, but it's also not from the 90s. And so I would expect most Flash games, especially something like this that doesn't require a lot of in-game motions or movements, to be very quick. And this one is just sluggish as hell. And I find that very frustrating just because, there's no reason for it to be. It's a very simple game. It really ruins the enjoyment factor if you're sitting here waiting on some horrible little loading icon. It just, it takes away from the experience quite a bit. But otherwise, the actual, the motions inside where you select blocks, that's very easy. There's a nice little back button on the left there that lets you take back one command, and up higher you can redo the whole level. That's very nice. I enjoy the ease there. The game is pretty difficult. I frequently found myself stuck on levels, but if I kind of left the game for about an hour and came back, it was usually easy to get back in the swing of things. But for the most part, I thought it was pretty well balanced. Towards the end, some just got really on my nerves. But I think a game like this really needs to ratchet the difficulty. I think the only way it could have made it better was to have different tracks of levels. Like have an easy set and a hard set, or have, kind of just like different colors or something, where you have some easy, medium, and hards. That way, if you get stuck on a hard one, you can go to some other chain and play those, if that makes sense. So that way, you're not just stuck on some really hard one, the same really hard one for a long time. That would have been nice. But otherwise, a game like this that's just the puzzles, it has to have a pretty high level of difficulty just to actually be satisfying. And I think it does a pretty good job with that. I'd recommend this game to pretty much anyone who likes puzzle games. It's definitely, just a puzzle game. It definitely requires some good kind of spatial knowledge, or, spatial forethought, I guess, not knowledge. But so I think if you get frustrated with it, just, stop playing. But if you like kind of this level of challenge and this level of puzzle, kind of cerebral, not too difficult, but still pretty challenging, I'd say it's a pretty fun game and I recommend playing it. For the scorecard, I give it a time value of 8, mostly because, like I said, I liked it, and I think that the difficulty scaling was pretty good, but I could have used for, those level banks. Money value of 10. Originality of 9. I've never seen a puzzle game particularly like this. That being said, it's not really that super unique, there's boxes on a screen, but I like the way it was implemented. I like the way it was kind of carried out in the game. I thought it was a good job. Replayability of 7. It'd be 100% except for that slow loading. And fulfillment of 4, which is drastically lower because of the slowness and because of the the lack of level silos like I was talking about before. I felt like that really hurt the game for enjoyment anyway. That gives a grand total of 7.6. Thanks for watching, everybody. Visit www.ryviews.com for more content, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time.